Welcome to Blueprint Boost for Contractors, the podcast that's your go-to source for unlocking the secrets to successful marketing, gaining valuable insights, and growing your contracting business with less stress. Your host is David Brooks, and he's thrilled to be your guide on this journey. As a seasoned expert in the contracting industry, David understands the challenges you face. That's why each episode is crafted to provide you with actionable strategies and proven blueprints to boost your business to new heights.
Hello, we'd like to welcome everyone to another episode of the podcast. I'm your host, David Brooks. We have a guest with us for this episode, and I'll allow him to introduce himself.
Hey, David. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm Richard Willard. I'm a regular listener, excited to be here. I run all of sales and customer success for BuyMax, which is a group purchasing organization that specializes in working with contractors in the service trades, right? Today, I'm really here to talk a lot about BuyFin, which is our consumer financing platform, talk about how it makes a difference for contractors and how it's critical in everyday life right at this point.
All right, excellent. Great to have you. So as we get into it for this episode, I'm going to ask, when we're talking about consumer financing options, how does BuyFin's consumer financing streamline the process for contractors and for their customers?
Yeah, great question. So, I think a lot of times when contractors think about consumer financing historically, they think about one thing: how much does it cost them to get a loan, right? So what's the dealer fee that they're paying? And I'm definitely going to cover that because BuyFin's got great dealer fees, right? But there's really a few things that go into it, David, right? Growth, so their ability to get jobs, more jobs, and also have a higher average ticket size. It's probably the most critical part of it right now. In this economic environment where literally everything costs more than it did, a year ago or 2 years ago, getting your homeowners the ability to pay for the work you want to do for them is going to keep you in business or not, right? And then if you could have a higher average ticket size on those jobs than you would normally, it's a double win, right? And that's really where BuyFin comes into play. But it's also going to be important for contractors, David, with cash flow, with reviews and referrals, customer retention. All of that to me is big, important factors of using the right consumer financing platform.
Nice, excellent overview. And then can you just walk us through the steps a contractor would take to be able to start with BuyFin and go through those financing options with their customers?
Sure. So one thing that's nice about BuyFin is because it's a fintech and not in a big bank, it's a really easy application process. It takes about 10 minutes to fill out an online form. You can go to getbuyfin.com to do it. And then, as that application goes in, somebody from them will reach out, possibly ask some follow-up questions, but really have somebody live. What's a really important part of BuyFin, David, is that we lean in extra hard around training and preparing the contractor to be successful. So not just training the owner and the office staff on how to set up offers and utilize rates the right way to maximize what the business is trying to do, but also training the techs and comfort advisors, the people in the home, so they feel incredibly confident showing BuyFin to every customer and getting more people to submit to consumer financing applications, right?
And that's excellent that, it's seamless, it's nice and easy to set up. And I think that's most important where, it's not, super time consuming and, people just like an easy, simple solution that they're able to walk through.
It's true. And I think what's really important is that you got to say, well, who likes the consumer financing app that a contractor is using? So you want the owner to like it, obviously, because you want him to be paying the least money for his financing. You want the office staff to be able to manage it and change things on the fly. And we give you the ability to do that, to have a great dashboard, to manage all the different loans and see the status of everything. But you also really want both your techs to love it and feel confident in the home, and you want the homeowners to love it, right? So if a homeowner likes the experience and can get financed and everything seems intuitive and comfortable for them, they're going to tell other people, they're going to leave you positive reviews, and you're going to get more jobs out of those moments as well, right? And BuyFin is really set up to do all of those things for a contractor, David.
Yeah, that's excellent. And when thinking about, using the platform, what are the competitive advantage that users can expect to have by coming onto the platform versus maybe another solution that's out there?
Yeah, there are so many competitive advantages. This is going to take me just a little bit to get to the key ones, right? But so the first is that it's a soft credit pull that will, so it doesn't affect the homeowner's credit, and they're going to get an actual to the penny payment. And it does not become a hard credit pull until the homeowner accepts the loan, right? So it's a really easy way to tell a homeowner, hey, I'm going to give you some different financing options, and it's not going to impact your credit at all to get a to the penny quote, right? For a contractor, BuyFin has stage funding. So what that means, David, is that if a contractor wants to take a deposit upfront from a job, and they want to take the money from the loan rather than from like a check or something from the homeowner, they could take a deposit from the loan to start off the loan, or take multiple deposits throughout the job, right? Also on the funding side, it's a same day ACH payment into the contractor's account if it's done before 2:30 Eastern time. So if you submit a job to be paid in full on BuyFin at 11 in the morning, it's going to be paid instantaneously, basically. Same day ACH back into your thing. Now, here's the meat and the potatoes of it, David, right? There's over 40 different loan options. There's 4 different no interest, no payment options. There's multiple loans that are installment loans that have a $0 dealer fee. So a contractor could give somebody an incredibly low payment on a 12-year loan installment option without costing the contractor anything. It's closed loop funding, David. So that means is that once the homeowner applies with that contractor, they can't use the loan with another contractor at all. They're committed to that contractor, and they have 5 months to use that loan. So if the homeowner gets approved for $20,000 and the job is $10,000, contractor has 5 months to use that other $10,000 for the homeowner to do more work or a different job or expand the relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's also no stipulations, David. You don't need any proof to be the homeowner. In fact, you don't have to be the homeowner. You don't need any proof of income. All of the income from the home is on one applicant. And so you don't need a husband and wife both to be home to submit an application. You can submit one person with all of the financial resources from the entire house, kids, grandparents, whoever, all off of one individual, right? So it's easy, it's intuitive, and a lot of the common sense things, David, that a contractor would ask for with a consumer financing partner, those things exist in BuyFin.
That's excellent. And being able to have that competitive advantage and the things that set you apart is really a staple and a hallmark of having people come in and use the platform. And as they're coming in and they're using the platform, do you have any like recent feedback that may have been given or collected from new contractors coming on board?
So consistently, we hear from techs that they love it. So in this scenario, the tech is sending a link to the homeowner, and the homeowner is completing the application, the credit application, on their own device, their own phone, their own computer. So it's really easy for techs. But probably the biggest piece of feedback, David, that we've gotten is on growing the average ticket size. So one big difference between BuyFin and other consumer financing apps is that you could finance your service work as well as your installation work on BuyFin, right? And so now you go to someone's home and they have to repair their HVAC system, or they have a plumbing repair. And let's just say that it's $1,000 job and the homeowner doesn't have $1,000. Now, not only can you finance that job, but you could give that homeowner, a must do quote, a should do quote, and then a total package quote. And what we're finding is that on the service size, contractors are increasing their average ticket size by about 60%. And that's a huge component of the current environment. If your average service ticket could be 50% higher than it is right now, that's really positioning you for a successful, profitable existence. And so, yeah, that's the piece that we're seeing across the board. Contractors are really able to grow their average ticket size through BuyFin.
That's excellent. Being able to, have that opportunity to be able to expand that average ticket size, is really, a game changer. for business owners to be able to add in that ability into their business to be able to help them grow. Being able to have that at your fingertips is definitely important, especially with the current climate that we're in. Being able to provide more of those solutions to homeowners would definitely be super helpful moving forward into the rest of 2024.
So critical, David. And I know you know this because you've got some financing background, but I mean, it's so hard to get people financed for loans right now, right? So the entire lending environment has tightened up. And so having a great consumer financing partner that really sets you apart, I mean, it is literally mission critical at this point.
Mhm. It definitely is. It definitely is. Like you said, it's right now is it's a hard time for it, unfortunately.
It is. It is. I want to have some work done to my house, and I'm going to wind up financing it as well, David. So yeah, I'm not just. I hope I wind up using BuyFin. Yeah.
Right. Now, as you're going along on a platform and you're working with the team, do you have any future enhancements or features that you're rolling out this year or next year?
So we're always trying to make it better. And I think it's really feature rich right now. I mean, one thing that happens now is that if you submit a loan, you're going to get an approval for an amount greater than the amount that you requested, right? Which is a really nice way to help upsell your client. If you're the kind of contractor that likes to use packages or just do bundles, it's going to give you the ability to upgrade homeowners to bigger bundles. But we're also looking to move this to an even higher automatic approval credit rate. So that's one of the things that's in the works. One enhancement that we just released, David, is the ability to manage multiple locations through a single instance. So you could have a dashboard. If you're a contractor that has 5 locations, you could see the consumer financing for all 5 locations in one view, like in one dashboard, right? So helpful for contractors that are on the bigger side. And then we're always expanding the verticals that we work in. Actually, our verticals, David, are a lot like the verticals for Rhino. We do a lot with HVAC, electrical, plumbing, remodeling, pools, handyman, um, hardscaping, pavement, all of that sort of is in our wheelhouse of who our contractors are.
That's excellent. And sometimes, like you said, the platform right now has a lot of rich features and a lot of things to offer. And sometimes you don't need much to
Yeah,
tweak if you really have a good system in place, and that's really good.
yeah. I think the proof is really like in the pudding, so to speak. What we're finding is that when contractors, add BuyFin, they often have other consumer financing platforms that they're using. And so they have the ability to go to different banks, and more of their volume is moving into BuyFin. So we're on a path where we hope that we're financing somewhere around $1 billion by 2027. So the growth rate is huge right now.
That's excellent. And as you're coming along and you're really, positioning yourself in the market and setting yourselves apart. I think one of the most important things when actually using a platform or coming on board with any program is the customer service experience. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so we know this. So because we've grown up in an environment where we've worked with a bunch of franchising systems, we know that if contractors aren't happy, that's going to spread like wildfire, right? And so the thing that contractors ask us for the most with all of the pieces of BuyMax is to empower their techs to be successful. And we've really embraced that for BuyFin, right? So as I mentioned earlier, we do a training for the office staff. We'll do training for techs. We'll do training for comfort advisors. We'll train your contractors' new hires as they come on board. So we're going to communicate with the techs directly after they submit application and fund loans to hear about the experience. And the techs are going to know that there is somebody out there that really has their back. And that's probably been the most positive part of the whole experience for everybody, right? It's just that we really embrace that tech empowerment philosophy.
That's excellent. And, being able to provide that kind of level of service and transparency. Like you said, it will spread like wildfire. So, you're very
Yeah.
sensitive toward, that customer centric approach of making sure that they're getting the best experiences possible.
Yeah, you know this, David, because of the podcast, right? But techs communicate a lot, right? Whether it's through Facebook groups or things like that. There's a network of techs across the nation that are sharing information, and the feedback on BuyFin is really positive in the whole tech community right now.
That's excellent. Yeah, and I definitely know it. Word,
Yeah,
word
yeah,
does spread like wildfire.
I know.
Excellent. So, we covered a variety of different things today in regards to the platform. Or is there anything else that you wanted to be able to mention
Yeah,
to
so
for listening?
I appreciate the question, David. Yeah, so let me say this. So consumer financing and BuyFin is only one portion of how we help contractors have a better bottom line and fund people. We also have a great payment processing platform, right? So no silly fees, like you get your bill every month from a credit card processor and you can't really understand what all the fees are. We don't really have any of that, right? We have a very straightforward payment processor. So if a contractor is looking for both consumer financing or for help with their credit card processing, all of the hardware that comes along with that, the machines, that kind of stuff, we are a really great partner for that. And all of this, David, so payment processing, consumer financing, these are just components of BuyMax, right? So like I said earlier, BuyMax is a group purchasing organization and we do everything. So if you are working with a distributor like Ferguson or East Coast Metal or City Electric, and we're going to get you a rebate from those distributors just for doing what you're already doing, right? As well as different partners. So in the plumbing industry, people like White Rogers sorry, the HVAC industry like White Rogers or sorry, I'm with Brad Norwitz. Um, we have tons of rebates. We have great comp partners on the fleet side. Every dollar that a contractor spends on their business, David, we should be able to help save them some portion of that dollar, is what I would say.
That's excellent. Being able to, save is important.
It really is. It's an environment where everybody, like I said, everything costs more money. And so
Yes.
there's only one variable that could happen from working with us, which is you will save money. If not, you won't work with us, right? There's no other option that would come from it.
No, and saving money is the key, especially again, like you said, this climate and environment, being able to save and being able to stand out and differentiate yourself amongst the crowd is going to be definitely vitally important.
Yeah, we're hearing that across the board from people. So everyone we talk to, they're leaning into this and, it's good for us. It's just an environment that helps us have a lot of growth.
Good. So any parting words for our audience today?
Well, I just want to make it easy for people to connect with us. So you could certainly go to buyfin.com, learn more about BYFIN, buyfin.com. If you wanted to send an email, merchants@buyfin.com is an easy way to get a hold of us, merchants with an S, David. But I mean, this is the time where if you're saying, hey, I need to improve my bottom line, I need to expand my portfolio, I want to grow my average ticket size, I want to retain my employees better, I want a better client reviews and experience, all of those things factor into why BuyFin would be a partner to help with your success.
Great, great. So, and just encouraging everybody, go take a look at the website, take a look at the offering. Feel free to reach out and definitely take advantage of the rebate and the opportunity to be able to, implement, BuyFin into your business and to be able to actually, provide more value to your potential customers.
Yeah, yep, that's exactly right, David. I'd love to hopefully a bunch of the listeners will connect with us and I'll be able to give you positive feedback in the future.
No, that would be great. We would love to hear it.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, excellent. Richard, thanks so much for joining us on a podcast, and we'll have to have you back on.
Thanks, David. Great to be here. I appreciate it. Love the show.
No problem. Thanks everybody for listening, and tune in to the next episode.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Blueprint Boost for Contractors. We hope you found today's insights and strategies valuable for your contracting business. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and please leave us a review. Your feedback helps us bring content that truly matters.